I've heard people talk about that owning a home is not an asset. Do you know that argument?
Do you actually remember the first asset that you ever owned?
Yeah. I remember my first asset.
Did you have too much money? What was it like?
The journey of acquiring an asset, you must be very daring, you must be a dreamer, you must be someone who admires.
Could we talk more into cash flow being king when it comes to asset ownership? Did you at one point borrow? Hello everyone, welcome to the DEED podcast. My name is Rachel Ekatsime, and I am delighted and thrilled to be your host today. We have an interesting topic at hand today. Yeah, I know that so many people, especially in Uganda and the rest of the parts of the world, we struggle with what we call asset ownership. And today, we are delighted that we are going to be breaking down that topic. And the topic is, can you guess what the topic is? Can you try and guess? We are talking about from dream to reality, the journey to asset ownership. And with me on this podcast is a lovely lady who is well versed when it comes to asset ownership. She has walked the journey. I would describe her as the fallacy of do what I say, but don't do what I do. She has done it all. She's knowledgeable and she knows what she's doing. Welcome with me to the DEED podcast, Dr. Deborah Atwine.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for hosting me.
You're
I'm
welcome.
happy to be part of this podcast.
You're welcome. So, Dr. Deborah, I've put you up in the sky. So, could you tell us who Dr. Deborah is?
Thank you, Rachel. My name's I'm Deborah Atwine. I'm a managing director of DEED Microfinance. DEED Microfinance is a microfinance institution that enables business owners and salary earners access finance solutions in form of loans and knowledge. We also do financial advisory services. We are located in Kampala. Our headquarters at Chiso's Complex, and we have a branch in Tinda. And I'm also a director at Chartered Security Group, a security company that provides trained, trusted, and professional guards. And we serve clients in both spaces, business and residential spaces. I'm also a senior lecturer at Kyambogo University. Wow. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. This year I celebrate 25 years in marriage, so it is July is my special month.
Wow, kudos to you.
Jubilee.
Kudos to you.
Thank
25
you.
Is such a long time.
Yeah. But
Such
it
a long
sounds
time.
like it was just yesterday.
Because you're enjoying it.
When I look at that 25 years, it's like, really, are they 25? But they are 25 years.
I guess that's what happens when you're enjoying what you're in.
Of course, life is good.
And you could actually go for a 30-year-old.
Wow, thank you for the compliment.
Well, before we dive into the topic that we are going to talk about today, I'd love you who is watching, who is listening in to us, to tap on the screen and hit the subscribe button. And I would like to take you back to a journey of what DEED Microfinance, the DEED podcast is about. It's definitely hosted by DEED Microfinance. They are the brainchild. And I would like you to go and backtrack some of the topics that they have handled before. Previously, they handled building multiple streams of income. And if I recall very well, at one point, they talked about do not be scammed. We have so many money lenders. If you get your phone right now, you'll look through an app and, if you don't read the reviews, you're in for it. But anyway, to begin with, Dr. Deborah, we are talking about the journey to asset ownership. Yeah. What is an asset?
Wow. it's an interesting one and a tricky one. To me, anyway, there have been many arguments what an asset is, but to me, an asset is something that is of value that can either generate income for you, or when you sell it, you can get money out of it. It adds value to you. It reduces some expenses for you if you are in business. And then if you're an individual, it is something you can quantify in terms of money.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, if I have my screen in my living room, someone may not call that an asset, but if tomorrow I have a problem, I can sell it off and solve my problem.
Okay.
If I have a car that takes me to work every day and drops my children to school, it's an asset, because if I was to hire, it would be more expensive. So it is helping me reduce the costs. But then there are these assets that are even more, they are bigger assets, if I may put in quotes bigger, like land, which appreciates. Okay? Yeah, you buy it today, tomorrow you sell it at a higher price. So it makes money for you. So to me, anything that has value that can be quantified in terms of money, that you can sell and get money out of it, it is an asset. And for a business, of course, a business may have both tangible and intangible assets. There are some assets really that you cannot look at and you touch them. For example, if I'm using a software in my organization, a software maybe for loan management, it is not something tangible, but it's an asset.
Okay.
If I am skilled in that area, that skill is an asset to the business, but you cannot touch it. Then there are some other intangible assets like stocks, like mutual trust, funds, and all that. So it is something really very broad. Yeah.
You mentioned something about car, a motor vehicle,
Yes.
being an asset.
Yeah.
And you know, we live in an age and era where people have had each other at that.
Yeah.
Where when it's raining very heavily, one asks the other, let your land transport you to work. But also,
That's
we have seen a
interesting.
narrative where people are like, okay, you bought the car.
Uh-huh.
What has it added to you?
To you.
Could you speak into that? Because I know that there must be someone, especially from the younger generation,
Yeah.
that is thinking, I need the car. But they've not yet bought land.
Yeah.
And their ideology is the land is not going to carry them to
To
work.
the office when it rains. Okay. Yeah, that's actually mind intriguing. And to me, it depends on what you're going to use the car for. Yeah. I remember those days when I was still young, going to work, whether it rained, whether whatever, it would be okay for me to go to work. So if I'm just going to work and it rains, maybe I can wear my raincoat, I can maneuver. But if I have babies to take to school, then really I need this car. And I will not think twice whether to buy land or a car, because it becomes a necessity. And I look at, if I'm to hire, how much am I going to spend on hiring? So to me, you may need that car before you buy the land. But then there are people who do it different. They say, okay, if my office is in Kamocha, I am going to rent somewhere very near where I can walk to my workplace. So instead of buying a car, let me buy land. But also I've heard people talk about that owning a home is not an asset. Do you know that argument? It is
I've
very
heard it.
common that, oh, you own a home, a very beautiful home, how much money does it give you? But if you want to liquidate it, you can liquidate it and get the money you want. Okay? If you are not living in that home, you would need to rent.
Doesn't it take you back to the cycle that now you have liquidated the home?
Yeah.
Aren't you going back to renting, or are you going outside the country?
Yeah, you go back. Actually, I had a cousin brother who passed on, rest in peace, Abre. He was one person who believed in not building this personal residential home.
Okay.
And for him, he believed that first build your business, it will build for you a home of your dreams and easily. So why spend that money to build this small home when you're still struggling. Invest the money in business. And then when the business grows, it can build for your house in 6 months.
Wow. I like the perspective.
Yeah. And it worked for him. But we are all different. Okay?
Something also that I've seen in Kampala.
Yeah.
You know, when the argument about a car not being an asset comes through, I've realized that there are people who are doing the match with the car. Have you seen people who, they have probably a shop somewhere and will pack passion fruits in the boot?
Yeah.
As you're telling them that the car is not an
Yeah.
asset, it's not adding value,
Yeah.
she's like, at lunchtime, I'll get out and do something with it.
Deliver, yeah. So it all depends on what you're doing with your car, but really I would consider a car as an asset. But as we said, there is no single definition that fits into what an asset is, whether for an individual or for business. It depends on who is defining an asset. But to me, if I'm to define an asset, that would be the definition I would give it. It doesn't have to be something that generates only income, but even something that you can quantify into money. And of course, a business, anything that is maybe furniture, computers, even cash that you have in the bank, all those are assets. While to an individual it might be different, but the issue is, can you really, this asset or this thing you call an asset, can you liquidate it and does it give you money? Okay. Or does it reduce your costs compared if you were to hire out?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Deborah, I know that you own assets.
Okay.
Could you take us on the journey of your first asset? Do you actually remember the first asset that you ever owned?
Yeah, I remember my first asset.
Could you take us through the journey? Because I might be seated here and I'm wondering, oh my God, she has attained all that. How do I reach there? Did you have too much money? What was it? What was it like?
The journey of acquiring an asset is actually a very, you must be very daring. You must be a dreamer. You must be someone who admires, and you say, I also want to do this. But you must also have trust in yourself and the discipline. So about my first asset, let me see. Yeah, my first asset, I think I acquired it in what I would call really an asset. I acquired it in 2010. And I had started my business. It was not doing well. I wanted to borrow. But when I went to this bank where I had been banking my small monies, I thought they would say, oh, you've been banking with us, so we can lend you. So when I reached there, they told me that you need security. You need an asset. I was already doing business. So I said, what can I do? So, of course, I couldn't borrow. I went back. I put more savings together. I saved like for a year. And then I told myself, I am going to acquire an asset, but my purpose of acquiring that asset was always to use it as security. Yes, we had some small assets before that belonged to the family, like our family home, and those are things I could not really say that those are business assets, or there are things that I could take somewhere and say, give me money.
You didn't want to risk them?
Yes, I didn't want to risk them. So I talked to my husband. I told him that, you know what, this time I'm going to buy an asset that is my own because I want to risk it. I am going to use it to borrow, and I want it to be in my name so that when I borrow, they take it. They're not throwing us out of the house. So I put together savings, 10 million. I think I saved it for like 3 years. And then I started looking for land. I looked for land, came across a piece of land. They wanted 25 million. It was so prime. That time, 25 million in 2010 was a lot of money. So I said, what do I do? So I went to this bank, Pride Bank. Actually, by then it was a microfinance. So I went there. I told them about the whole story. They said, how much do you have? I paid 10 million, and they lent me 15 million, which I was supposed to pay back in 3 years.
Was it the same bank you had been to before?
Yes, this is an institution I'd worked before. So I really went to colleagues and told them about the whole thing. Actually, I bought that land from the managing director.
Dr. Deborah, just to interject.
Yes.
The first time that you went without collateral,
Yeah.
what was running through your mind? Did you, for example, imagine that since I was a staff here, I would just present my need and they give me money?
Yeah, not really. Actually, when I went for the loan, I was not going to the same bank. I'd gone to a different bank. But this time when I wanted money, I said, let me go to this institution I have been, and I knew their requirements. Yeah. So to cut the long story short, I was able to buy land, that land. But I think it took me 3 years of paying back that loan. Remember, I had saved like for 3 years. So that is a period of 6 years to acquire that first asset. Okay. And it comes back to what I talked about. You can't just wake up and you say, I want to own this land. You look at a nice car on the internet and you say, I want to own this car. Have you planned? Have you saved? Have you calculated? Have you... So the first asset is always a challenge, and especially when it is land, because the seller usually wants all the money. Yeah, in most cases, 80%.
And that's something that I really wanted you to talk into. Yeah. Because I love to talk about the young people. Yeah. You the older people, have seen it all. But there is a young person somewhere who is just thinking, I need land. And they are thinking, I have my little money on the account. I'm just going to go and get money. And you realize that they have nothing to back them up. And I realize those are mistakes that, this generation makes. And for some of them, because they did not plan, they have not probably done research, they are just going to go with whoever says. Because, there are people who are selling land, but which is a scam. Yeah. So I would like you to talk a bit more onto that planning. What should they do exactly?
So if you have not started saving, you need to open that account and begin saving. And have a goal. I have talked about the setting goals and saving in our earlier podcast. You need, first of all, set a goal of why you are saving. I had a goal to buy that piece of land. And that encouraged me to save, even when I felt there was almost nothing to save. But I had to save. So you must set a goal. You must open that account. You must have the discipline to save. And then, along the way, you must get information. You must look for information. If you want to buy land, what do you know about land? If it is titled land, what do you need to do? Do you need to do search? Do you need to visit the land? You need to go to the LOC? Do you need to involve a valuer? So you must educate yourself. I'm not going to go into those details. If it is Kabaka's land, for example, in Kampala, what do you know about Kabaka's land? So can you find information that is related to land? But it all begins with planning.
Yes.
Yeah. You've set your goal, you have saved, you are now inquiring. Or go to legit institutions. Like I did microfinance, we sell land, we have different estates in different locations. Go to legit institutions where you know that I will take my car saving there and maybe even pay in installments. If you want to buy a car, have you saved? It's not that because you've got this girlfriend and you want to please her and you're like, I must catch her attention with a new car. And then you go to the bond and, so you need to plan. But when you go to the bond to buy, what do you know about cars? Can you educate yourself? Recently we had a client who came to borrow and was using the motor vehicle for security. So he had bought the motor vehicle at 25 million. But when we did valuation, we found that the car was worth like 15 million, even if you go on the market. But because he had little knowledge about motor vehicles, it was a certain type of motor vehicle which is not very popular. For example, if I say a Volkswagen may sell less compared to a Toyota in Uganda. So he spent a lot of money, but he didn't get the value for money. So you have saved, you now go out to buy, you need to get information. But above everything, that asset you are buying, what is it for? Okay? Is it about status? Sorry to say, if you are an MP now, you need a new car. If you need a new house, everything has to change. If you've been promoted at work, everything has changed. Your car, your apartment you sleep in. But if you're convinced that it's for a good purpose, you have planned for it, I just want you to know that it's a process. You are not going to acquire an asset out of the blue.
We must learn to be patient. Because it takes me back to
patient.
what you mentioned.
Yeah.
You walked into a bank, saved for 3 years, and then realized that at the end of the day, you were getting the asset after 6 years.
Yes.
So it's a process.
It's a process. It requires patience. But, okay, we may have the patience, but even the discipline.
The discipline
You
to
save along the way, you're like, what am I even
we have all these saving places where you put
Yeah.
money and you can actually go back and pick it.
Yeah, you're like, let me enjoy my money. I'll save again. Over that time, there's time for everything. This time it is fun. Let me go and celebrate my birthday in Zanzibar. You dry up the account. So it is the discipline, but also, kwerumya. You must forego some nice things.
We want to eat once and suffer once.
You must forego the nice life that maybe you admire. But when you're slightly patient, at the end of the day, you will enjoy even better.
I was watching someone's Instagram, and when you talk about having to downsize, and she was talking about one time she had a very big job out of the country, and all of a sudden she upgraded.
Wow.
Designer bags. And then someone commented and said there was a time they would even spend 7 million
To buy
just on lifestyle. And then they wake up when they were clocking into like their 30s, but also there were people at work, the older women, who noticed, and they're like, the route you're taking is not a good one. You need to tone down. And that's when she now began to invest. That's when she got to know about unit trust. That's when she got to know about stock markets.
And she was lucky she realized. Some people realize that when they're almost in 50s and they're about to retire.
And I want to feel like the person who is watching this podcast needs to pay some money because they're getting free knowledge.
Yes, and that is why we exist. I said we give this knowledge because we've realized that if we are to help our customers that have really enabled us to reach where we are, we can only give back in form of information. We are in information age. And it is one of those assets that are not tangible, okay? But when you have it, it is power.
I see many people arguing about people who pay to attend webinars and everything. Yeah. And they're like, how do you pay all that money? And I always argue and tell them, if you can sit in a pork joint and eat pork, that at the end of the day, you know the destination, then you can actually invest in knowledge.
And remember the knowledge you get. It doesn't go away from your head.
It keeps there.
But some things we enjoy them for a short while, but it doesn't mean that we don't eat the pork. Let's enjoy the pork, but also enjoy free knowledge brought by DEED Microfinance.
Dr. Deborah, could we talk more into cash flow being king when it comes to asset ownership?
Yeah, that is it is a webinar that we have done before. We had that webinar some time back about cash flow is king. And it's really a big issue for businesses that are starting. It is always a challenge. Some business owners, they want to acquire an asset, but at times it interferes with their cash flow. But at times you may have to delay to acquire this asset such that you don't interfere with your business. I have run DEED Microfinance for almost 15 years. And I shouldn't say that we really have serious assets. Apart from our headquarters that we are putting up, and maybe that is the biggest asset that we have. But all this time I've had friends, their businesses, they are building rentals, they are building nice things, they are buying these good cars. But I was always conscious not to interfere with my cash flow. the fact that we are into a microfinance, it means our stock is money. So if I interfere with this cash flow, then I will interfere with business. So some businesses, they rush to buy assets, and then they interfere with the cash flow. So you must be very calculative. This asset I'm buying, is it really very important in my business? Yes, some businesses cannot do without that asset. For example, if I am a photographer, videographer, and I go to different locations, I go to Mbarara, I go to Jinja, I go to West Nile, I may need this car to transport my gadgets, my stuff, and maybe I'm losing a lot of money in hiring out, okay? But then, there are some businesses that really you realize someone doesn't need this asset. Someone says, okay, I've been doing this business, but I want to put up a commercial house somewhere. And yes, it is good, but where are you going to get the money? You're going to drain this business. Oh, I want to build rentals somewhere. It is a good thing to build rentals, but where are you getting the money from? This business. Do these rentals help this business? Now, if you get money from this business and you build rentals somewhere, or you build a school somewhere, or even start another business, will this business continue standing? Will it still function? So you have to be very calculative, especially when looking at cash flow in business. Because the moment you don't have cash flow, you'll not be able to pay your landlord, you'll not be able to pay salaries for your workers, you'll not be able to restock, you'll not be able to pay taxes, and slowly the business will go down. You have acquired an asset, yes, it's okay, it's your asset, or it's a business asset, but you're killing the cow. You are enjoying the milk, but you are killing
the cow. So
if you're buying an asset in every business, ask yourself, what is it going to add to my business? Am I able to buy this asset at the same time the business runs?
I really love that, because it kind of speaks to me that sometimes you want to add a product, and then you're like, but if I take out this huge money, then I will not be able to serve the existing products that are on the product line.
Yeah. So sorry to interfere, Rachel, but to take you back, I think it was an oversight, and we need to apologize to the viewers. You didn't introduce yourself. You didn't tell us the product that you do. Yes. The audience would be very happy to know your product, to see this glowing girl with very nice hair. Tell us the trick.
Oh, well, like I already mentioned, my name is Rachel Ekatsime. I'm a radio host, and I'm a formulator for natural hair products, and I run under the brand Is Organics.
Okay, that's good. Is that are you using the same products for your hair?
I wouldn't be selling what I'm not using,
oh,
because
wow,
I wouldn't have a testimony to give to people.
Oh, wow, that is very nice. I have also used your products, and I think they are really good. I think the next podcast we should come here and talk about the products.
Okay.
All right.
So back to the DEED podcast. What financing options are available
for
someone to acquire an asset?
Oh, thank you so much for the question. I love that. At DEED Microfinance, we have many products, but one of our best products is asset financing. It is one of the products that really is very satisfying to clients, and you really see a difference, that you've created a difference. You have made an impact immediately. We know business is about problem solving, leaving an impact, but it's one of the products we give, and we are happy, and the clients are also happy.
Okay.
So we have a product called asset financing. So you need an asset. I'm going to give an example. You need to buy land. You identify the land, but you realize that the money you have is not enough. So when you come to DEED Microfinance, we have to first know how much is the land, where are you buying it from. We actually help you to do verification, okay? And that helps the client. We have actually bought land for a client who almost lost money because of the kind of agreement that he had done. So we looked through the agreement, we realized it was not well written. We involved our lawyer, and they made a more legal agreement. So this client was buying land at 190 million, and they had 100 million. So they wanted 90 million to top up. So what we do with our asset financing, we cause a meeting between the seller, the buyer, who usually is our client, and us. And we get to know how much money have you paid or you would like to pay, and then we top up. So usually for land, you put 40% and we top up for you 60%.
Wow.
So if I'm buying land at 100 million, all I need to raise is 40 million, and then DEED Microfinance will give me 60 million. And the beauty is we don't register this land in our names. We put the land in your names. So you become the owner of the asset there and then, which is very interesting. And then we put a mortgage on it. It's your property, but we caveat it. We put that mortgage, and when you finish paying, we remove it.
I was waiting for that particular one before someone gets excited and they're like,
yes, we remove it.
Let me run to deed.
But the most asset financing that we have done is for motor vehicles.
Okay.
Usually you identify the motor vehicle, we come and value the motor vehicle. For the vehicles, they are paying 30%.
And is this, do you have like a gauge on which kind of motor vehicle? Is it a business vehicle or?
Yeah, it is actually all motor vehicles.
Even
whether
just
personal
use, okay.
Whether personal, whether business, we fund, as long as if you identify, we first verify to ensure that legally it is okay. So you provide 30%, you pay to the person who is selling you, they acknowledge, you come with your receipt, we top up the 70%, and we put the motor vehicle in your names.
Dr. Deborah, this is getting a little interesting.
Yeah.
I know that I'll still say young people, because there must be a young person who has been saying, oh my God, I'm tired of the rain, what can I do?
Yes.
I'm tired of my children going under the rain. And they are listening to this and it sounds like good music in their ears.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know, at what interest?
Yeah, we lend at an interest of 2.8% per month.
Okay.
And we can give you up to 2 years. So you pay this money we've given you in installments, depending on how you earn. But what is very key is that you must be earning. Yeah? Don't be there, maybe you get, someone gives you a gift of money. Let's say you have an auntie, you have a friend who has gifted you with 10 million, and you're like, okay, this car of 20 million, let me go and get the balance. This is money you have to pay back. So you look at your earning and say, in a month, I can raise an installment of 1 million, 2 million. Okay? Yeah. So we will give you this money, you clear the property, the asset, the motor vehicle, then you pay slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, you go with your motor vehicle. We don't park it, we don't limit you. You go with your motor vehicle. Yeah, and we have bought a lot of motor vehicles for people, even for commercial, the commercial vehicles. Yeah, taxis, trucks, and even personal ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Deborah, I want to believe that there have been mistakes that you have noticed
Yeah.
that people make when they are owning their very first asset.
Yeah.
Could you just give us like 2-3 mistakes that you have seen that people need to avoid, and how can they avoid them? Because sometimes the excitement is up there,
Yeah.
and someone says, I must get land this year.
Yeah.
What mistakes have you seen, and what should they do to avoid such mistakes going forward?
Personally, I've made mistakes. I think everyone has made mistakes. I remember some years back when I just gotten married, we bought our first car. It was a nice one, and we were so excited. So my husband was transferred up country, so he went with the vehicle. And I felt so bad. I was like, I need to get, I began enjoying the comfort. So By then I was still working. I acquired a loan and I bought that motor vehicle.
Okay.
My first car. I really loved it. So we were renting somewhere in Natete, and so it means he was renting in Mbarara where he was working. The family was in Natete. So we owned 2 cars with 2 rented homes. Can you imagine the expense? And of course, I did not buy that car with cash. I got a salary loan, I think like for 5 years.
Wow.
At times I look back and I'm like, how foolish was I? So,
No, but you were seeking comfort.
yeah, so I bought that car at 7 million. I think I took a loan of 5 years. That was around 2004. I remember a plot of land then in Mutundwe na Lumunye was at 2 million.
So every passing day,
Up to now,
you were traveling in a plot of land.
No, not one plot.
3 plots.
I'll never forgive myself. So we had bought my husband's car, the one he was driving. We had bought it around 8 million, mine 7 million. That is how much in total?
15.
And a plot in Narumunye was at 2 million. Do you know how much a plot of land is today in Narumunye?
No.
It's 300 million. So it means that we could have bought 7 plots. So life was going on well. I was happy. I would come with my car, park at office, pick my baby, and I was like, oh, I have arrived.
You had arrived.
Then the Muzigo things. I had young babies. Then my maids were getting involved with neighbors. Then my maids were going every day. Later I realized that I was losing my maids to a neighbor. And I felt I was tired of renting. So what came to my mind? Sell this car, buy a plot, and start building. But I realized if I buy a plot, how am I going to be able to build? If I buy like a plot of 4 million in Chengera where we had our first home. So we decided with my husband and we said, let's buy land and we build. So, let's sell the car and we build. So we sold the car, we built, we came now to our normal senses. Then he gave me his car, which I used to transport the children.
So in short, you didn't need the 2 cars.
We didn't need the 2 cars. First of all, he didn't have a family. The other side, he was a young man staying near his workplace. He could have walked his workplace. Even me, I was near my workplace, except that I had a baby. So we started building, and that's how we got our first home.
So this is what I hear from you.
Yes.
We need to weigh.
Yeah. We need to weigh, and also at times put aside the emotions, okay? At times we become emotional when I want to own my own. Yeah? And to cut the long story short, we were able to enter our home with our 1 car. But do you know that when we entered our home, even fuel for that 1 car was not there? So it was packed and we were always using.
Did you at one point borrow to fuel the car?
No, I didn't borrow to fuel the car.
Okay.
My husband could have borrowed because at one point a lot of expenses were on him. But what I remember, there are many times when we left that car at home and we went on foot, even when it was raining. But these are 2 people who had 2 cars at one point. So the question was about
the mistakes that you have seen that people do when
so,
they're owning.
So those were the mistakes I did, and I look back and I'm like, God, what was I up to? But of course, age, lack of exposure, this information that we are giving now, by then it was not there. And at times it takes me to this joke of, do you drink? How much money do you drink per day? Now in 5 years you calculate and you say, if you didn't drink for all this time, you would have bought this. And then the other one asks, do you drink? No, I don't drink. So where is your car? Where is your land? So we make those mistakes. But when you get to know better, then you make better decisions. So mistakes people make when they're acquiring an asset. One of the mistakes is Even where, if you're buying land, where are you buying it?
It was going to bring me to that point
Yeah.
where we are asking,
Where are you buying land?
is it too far? Is it
Some
near?
places appreciate while others do not.
Appreciate.
I remember some time back we bought land in Mutundwe with my husband. That land did not appreciate because that place by then it didn't have roads. That Mutundwe above Natete, there were no roads. It was not good. The land did not appreciate. But if we had used the same money to buy maybe on Entebbe Road or to buy this side of town, the Namugongo, Gayaza. So you need to know where I am buying this asset. Is it for my home? Is it for sale? Does the price appreciate? Get someone who has knowledge about land. Recently, a friend of mine called me and said, Debbie, I want to buy land. I want to trade in land. Where can I buy land? He said, I'm thinking of going to Mbarara and I start trading in land. And I was like, okay, but how does land appreciate in Mbarara compared to Kampala? You see that? Because he comes from Mbarara, he thinks buying land in Mbarara, you'll make money. But how does it appreciate? Is it a plot of land that appreciates in Mbarara or it is farmland? So you see, you may need someone who buys farmland in Mpigi. It may not appreciate like someone who buys in Mbarara, because in Mbarara everyone is doing farming.
So I think it's important to get investment advice.
Yeah, get investment advice about the asset that you are going to buy. Even if you're buying a car for your own consumption, get some knowledge. And then, if it is not enough, you can acquire a loan. People will tell you that to own the big assets they have borrowed. They have borrowed, and it is okay to borrow. Okay. I have come across people who say, nze sewora. But even the biggest assets have been acquired through borrowing. But you can't borrow 100%. Put down something and then you can go and borrow. Or even talk to the person who is selling. They may give you credit. You may want to buy land, and this person is willing to get money in installments. That is a soft loan without any interest, which is the best. Yeah.
Okay, another question that I can think about, should assets be owned as an individual or as a business? And whichever line you choose to take, are there parameters that have to be put into consideration?
Whether an asset should be owned as a business or as an individual, it depends on the source of funding to me.
Okay.
If it is the business that has put together this money, then the asset belongs to the business. If it is your personal saving, then it should be a personal asset. You might find that this saving, you got it from your business, but it is now your personal saving. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you think that this asset, really the money has been generated by the business, then it's a business asset. Of course, people who have done accounting and things of taxes, they will give you their advice. I'm not an expert in that.
The drawings and
yes, whatever. They will give you the expertise. Say if you take it out from business, maybe it has this implication as far as taxes are concerned. But me, in my view, that is how I look at things. If I have made a saving from my business and it's my personal saving, I buy that asset, it's my personal asset. If this business has used its money to buy an asset, then that is a business asset. Yeah.
So to each their own, really.
Yeah. And I think assets that belong to the business should be really not only about comfort. They should be able to generate income for the business.
I love that.
Yeah. Don't say, because I'm an MD of this organization, I deserve to drive a Range Rover, so the company should buy me a Range Rover of 300 million. Does it have the capacity? It comes back to cash flow.
Will the business stay afloat?
If this asset is going to interfere with cash flow, you are enjoying the milk, but you're killing the cow. And eventually you'll have no milk.
So I know that DEED Microfinance is there to help people, salary earners that want to get assets, business people that need, to improve their business. How do you come in? How do you come in? To
salary earners, thank you for that question. To salary earners, of course, most salary earners, they access loans through banks. But at times, an asset comes up and you already have a loan. Yeah. But you find that the loan is taking like 40% of your salary and you have a 60% or 50%. So what we do is you get this asset, you inform us about the asset, we do verification, because at times that we find that the asset is not legit. So if the asset is not legit, then it means we are buying for you air. So we usually do the verification, and that's one of the value addition that we do for our clients.
And that's free.
Yeah, it is free. Recently, a client wanted to buy a car, and he had almost deposited. We said, let's do search first. And we found that the car had taxes that had not been paid. So he dropped the car and picked on another one.
Dr. Deborah, that has reminded me of something.
Yes.
A question that I kind of bypassed.
Yeah.
As we're looking at buying assets, I want you to talk about second-hand assets and brand new assets. Because somebody is going to buy a car and they have not done any background search.
Yes.
And the moment they're on the road like this, police is on their neck.
Yes.
And they're like, why are you stopping me?
This
And
is
when
my
the policeman brings out the details,
Hey.
they have tickets. It's
They even have caveats for other microfinance institutions.
Exactly. So
Yeah, so that is one of the values that we add when we buy our clients' asset. On top of giving you money, we help you verify the authenticity of that asset. Yeah, because we are putting in money, and because we know that you may not be able to do all the verification that you need. We do the verification on your behalf. But of course, you pay for them. Some are free, others you must pay for them. For example, if you have to do boundary opening for a plot of land, you have to pay for it. So how we come in, you asked a question about a salary earner. We look at the asset. If it is authentic, we ask you how much you have, and then we give you the balance. But then you always use your salary to pay back the money the loan that we have given you.
okay.
And for business owners, it is even much easier at times when the asset is used for business. Some time back, someone borrowed 28 million. They wanted to pay taxes for their 2-1 travel company. And they paid it very well. They even came back for more money. The reason is that this car was in the bond. They needed 28 million. There was no way they could make money. Yet this car, they were looking at it as the business to make the money and pay back. So when they came to us, we trusted them. We cleared the car, put it in their names, and they started their tour business.
Wow.
And within 1 year, they've paid back that money. They've come back for more money. They have imported another vehicle. They want to clear, so they are expanding their fleet, and so they're expanding their business.
So in short, you're protecting deed, but you're also protecting your client.
Yes.
I'm not very sure whether there are so many people who do that for you. So to you who is watching the podcast, place yourself rightly. Finally, what advice would you give to anyone who dreams of owning an asset or someone who is actually already on the journey?
Thank you for that question. If you dream of owning an asset, that's a very good dream. And it should be everyone's dream. Because an asset is something that will help you in your life, in your business. It is the reward for your hard work. So the advice I would give you, start with a dream. Just dream big. Because the energy you use for small dreams is the same energy you use for big dreams. So just dream. Dream about that asset that you need. Then start planning for it. And the plan is simple. Start saving for it. Start putting more energy in your business or even at work such that you increase your income. You increase your income, you save. You have the discipline to save. And then look for information about that asset that you want. Totomera. Don't just go. Totomera. Start gathering information. Start weighing. If I want to buy a car, buying a Harrier and a Noah and a Benz, which one is better? Inform yourself, get knowledge. And then eventually, if you can afford to buy 100%, pay for it and own it. And if you can't, there are so many institutions that do asset financing, including DEED Microfinance. You can go to your bank, you can come to us, DEED Microfinance. We have it as a product, and for us you just need 30% and we give you 70%. And you will own this asset. So if you're already on that journey, we can even help you to identify a genuine asset, which is very important. At times people want to buy land, but they don't know where to go. At times people want to buy motor vehicles, they don't know where to go. We have a lot of partners that we collaborate with, that work in the bonds, that import cars. We can introduce you to them and they will give you the right car that will meet your need. We sell land ourselves, but in case if our land doesn't meet the requirement you need, we still have partners that sell land and you can work with them.
Wow.
So it is planning, it is the discipline, it is patient, but most importantly, it is gathering information about the asset that you want. Determine if you're making the right decision for the asset that you want to buy.
In your conclusion, this is what I pick. Take your time, think through well, and ensure that you're putting your money where you're not going to reap tears.
Yeah.
Like people say, that it will end in tears. You can change the narrative and yours ends up in joy.
Yeah. I'm lucky I've not been scammed on any asset, but when I look back, it's about taking time to understand what I'm buying.
Dr. Deborah, in 1 minute, you could enlighten the people that are watching us as regards your turnaround time.
Yeah.
I know that there are people who apply for loans and man, it takes a month.
Yeah, it happens.
And probably someone has a container somewhere.
Yes.
And they can't access it.
Yeah, our turnaround time is just 24 hours. You start on the process today, you say, I want to buy a car, I have my 30%. You walk in, tomorrow you'll walk out with your car. Because that is one of the problems we are solving. We know that money today is different from money tomorrow. So we are always ready to work as fast. We do our verifications, they are detailed, but because decision making, we do it around the table. The officer is there, the committee is there, our valuers are ready, everything is ready. We put a caveat there, and then from our office, you should be able to get your car within 24 hours.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for land, I may not guarantee because you may have to go and do more detail, but still, it shouldn't take more than a week.
Once everything is finalized,
Yeah,
24
1 week is
hours.
enough, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Deborah, it's been an honor having
Thank you
you and
so
hosting
much.
you. And to the people on the camera training shots, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
And to everyone watching the podcast, remember to subscribe, like, and share this information. Let's be financially knowledgeable. Blessings.
Thank you so much, our viewers. Let me take this opportunity to thank you. We always have these podcasts on a monthly basis, and we have a webinar that we air out every last Wednesday of the month. We have these educative talks. They are free because our slogan is, we care about your growth.